Oh, hey there, guys. It's been a while. So, I was encouraged to make a video about this by Sin, because, well, it seems fitting. So, you obviously haven't seen from me in a while. What, it's been at least a year, probably closer to 2 at this point, since I last posted a video. But I want to go ahead and give you guys some updates and sort of just tell you why I've vanished off the face of the earth. So, you should see a stream or two from Sin recently. It was actually in the last day or so that we started playing some more video games together, but I did not stream because, well, I just don't want to. But so yeah, you can see the channel's declined slightly. I'm not particularly inclined to come back at the moment and just start everything back up. Oh, excuse me, from where I was. But so let me go through some of the reasons here. I got a text document on the other screen. So first, I'll just sort of show you how my channel's done. Period. You'll see that I still get some views from time to time, but they're very infrequent and very irregular. So you'll see a couple spikes here. If I'm not mistaken, back here were the Terraria streams early on. Well, let's say early on, somewhat early on, about a year or two into the whole YouTube thing. And they actually get a decent number of views. Surprisingly, I don't know if it's just because it's Terraria, if it's modded Terraria, or I think partially the analytics system was broken back then and was counting views on a stream based on the viewers currently watching it live, and they would update that like once an hour. So someone stays in the stream for 3 hours, there's 3 views, even though it's only one person. So yeah, broken. But regardless, decent numbers back then. There were probably a couple other videos around that time that did well, and then up here, throughout this entire valley in the analytics, this was the period of time when I believe I started actually editing videos, and doing streams that are a little longer form, perhaps. You can see for sure there was just, so few views. There are a few little pockets of hope, like there's a day with 83, but 83 isn't going to do anything for you. And then all of a sudden, 1,000, 3,000, 10,666 views. This was all due to one video, and it's still very much my top viewed video here. The Mind Song, but you must sustain prolonged eye contact with Stingy. I know, I made one of those, I'm sorry. But that being said, it is my largest video to date with 161,000 views. Riding that hype train to its death. And yeah, these numbers here are just that same video dying off. It's not any type of regular viewership, because you can see December and onward up until present, I get probably low 20s on average, probably, views per day. It's nothing particularly special, but yeah, so that's just sort of a brief history of the channel. We had 2 sort of Renaissance eras. I mean, this one was manufactured, very much so. This one was natural. But, yeah, so some of the reasons I sort of just dropped off the face was back around, it was either end of 2017 or very early 2018. I was having a tough time with school. You may remember that I've been enrolled at FSU for quite a while, and I was having some major issues, getting myself to go to class and things like that. I ended up dropping out partly due to some depression I was having at the time. I would just stay inside, all the blinds closed, watch anime until, basically 3 in the morning, wake up at 7 in the morning, and then repeat. So it was not a healthy time in my life, particularly. And as a result of that, I got my life together. I went home, lived with my family for a month or two, and, paid some doctors a visit. Nothing they really did was particularly effective. But just even, breaking the routine of what I was doing was so much more helpful. So yeah, that sort of episode there was partially responsible for me just vanishing. It was sort of the trigger. Over the course of, several months here, and sort of realizing it, the entirety, there was this mounting stress. It becomes more about putting out a video than it is about enjoying the content you make or enjoying the games you're playing. And that is, unfortunately, it's a big player for a lot of people, I'm sure. They overpromise, say once a day they upload, and, I probably uploaded once a day or about that while I was still uploading frequently. At the very least, I'd stream several times a week, several hours. So yeah, it became so much more about making a product than actually playing a game and enjoying it for the sake of enjoying it. And that wears you down for sure. Once you just say, okay, I'm going to launch up, Payday 2 for View, you end up disliking the game as a whole because you associate it with this thing that's not so pleasurable, and you're just doing it because you want to get to a point where this is, successful for you. But unfortunately, that never really happened for me, and I doubt it ever will, but we'll see. Another reason is in the interim after that depressive episode, I moved out to a different apartment because I got full-time employment. So I'll go through both of those here shortly. I'll start with work. So 2017, around March, right around, in fact, probably around this date, I ended up getting hired by an IT company here where I live, and I've been working for them probably it's almost been 2 years. Up until about October, I was only part-time. However, I would basically, go to work, eat lunch, clock out, and then I would end up going to the gym for a little while, get back home type deal. But yeah, for several months I was only part-time. Then November or October perhaps, I was hired full-time. So I've been going full-time for a little while here. And I don't know if you guys know, but working 8 hours of the day, technically 9, because, lunch hour is technically not counted as a work hour, is a little stressful. Also takes up a majority of your time, leaving, for me, only about 3 or 4 hours in an afternoon or an evening to actually do anything. And most of that, I want to just sit around and watch a video. I'm sorry, it's just the way I am. I would much rather at this point, watch a video than make one. So, right, but back to employment. So part of that is obviously stress of employment. So I would, of a day, I'd work 8 hours, and of that, I would say at most probably 2 of those hours are very enjoyable. the rest of them are a mixed bag. And a lot of that stress needs to just be let out. And unfortunately, like I said, making videos became stressful for me. So rather than, do something stressful, I'd much rather just sit back and relax. So that's sort of where I'm at this point. And you can see, I think I removed some very old videos that I just found so bad. But yeah, so those are more or less all the reasons that I have for you. Oh, right, the apartment move. Presently, and I don't really have a photo to show you of it, but currently my computer is positioned across the room where it's able to be connected up to TV and monitors and whatnot. I'm in a little studio apartment, and having a separate desk where I can have my computer and recording set up, it's not exactly easy in this apartment. That being said, it's a very cozy apartment, nice, fairly inexpensive. But yeah, right now, to give you an idea, I'm sitting across the room from my computer, and I have my microphone stand attached to the windowsill, and it blocks the blinds from being closed. So I have to take this up, or put this up and take it down anytime I want to record. Not exactly the best thing. So all these things sort of combined, but like I said, the depression was sort of the kickoff point for me just vanishing. All sort of caused me to not entirely give up on YouTube, but certainly not post anything for a long time here. That being said, at some point down the road, I may pick this back up as like a hobby or something like that, but don't count on it being anytime soon. And again, it would be more of a hobby, so don't count on any kind of regular content or anything like that. It would be more like what you'd expect from, I don't know, maybe like an animation channel where I post something every couple weeks, or like something like that. And it may be longer form, maybe short form, but very edited, that sort of thing. But I'm not intending on picking that up anytime soon. So another long silence for you here, I'm afraid. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll try to respond to them as best I can. But yeah, otherwise it'll likely be radio silence for a long time. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you one day, or talk to you in the comments or something. But until next time, bye there.